Have you ever looked up at the night sky and felt a connection to something ancient and profound? For millennia, our ancestors did the same, but they saw more than just stars. They saw a giant, celestial clock, a map that guided their lives, and a calendar that foretold the changing of seasons. Today, we are journeying back in time to explore the incredible celestial maps of ancient civilizations and unravel the mysteries they still hold. From the sun-drenched pyramids of Egypt to the misty mountains of the Maya, cultures across the globe were obsessed with the cosmos. This wasn't just idle stargazing, it was a matter of survival. The sky told them when to plant their crops, when to harvest, and when the rivers would flood. The sun, moon, and stars were the original timekeepers, the most reliable forces in a world of uncertainty. Let's start in ancient Mesopotamia, the cradle of civilization. The Babylonians were meticulous astronomers. For over 1,000 years, they kept detailed diaries of celestial events on clay tablets. They tracked the movements of Venus, which they associated with the goddess Ishtar. And they were the first to divide the year into 12 months, based on the cycles of the moon. They also created the zodiac, the 12 constellations that the sun appears to pass through over the course of a year. For them, the sky was a divine script. The positions of the planets weren't just data points, they were omens. Messages from the gods that could predict the fate of kings and empires. Now, let's travel across the world to ancient Egypt. The Egyptians' entire existence was tied to the Nile River. Its annual flood was the lifeblood of their society, bringing fertile silt to their farmlands. But how did they know when the flood was coming? They watched for the star Sirius. The heliacal rising of Sirius, the first day it becomes visible just before sunrise, coincided perfectly with the beginning of the Nile's inundation. This celestial event marked the start of their new year. Their grand temples, like the one at Karnak, weren't just places of worship. Many were precisely aligned with the solstices and equinoxes, turning these massive stone structures into giant astronomical instruments. But perhaps no ancient civilization is more famous for its calendar than the Maya of Central America. The Maya developed one of the most complex and accurate calendar systems in human history. They didn't just have one calendar, they had several, all interwoven. The Hab was their 365-day solar calendar for agriculture, while the Tzolk'in was a 260-day sacred calendar. These two calendars synced up every 52 years, creating what we call a calendar round. But they didn't stop there. They also had the long count, a calendar that tracked vast cycles of time, stretching thousands of years into the past and future. It's this long count calendar that famously ended a cycle in 2012, sparking worldwide speculation. Though for the Maya, it simply marked the beginning of a new era, not an end. Their cities, like Chichen Itza, are celestial marvels. The Pyramid of El Castillo, for example, is a physical representation of the Hab calendar, with 365 steps. During the spring and autumn equinoxes, the sun casts a shadow that creates the illusion of a serpent god slithering down its side. It's a breathtaking fusion of architecture, astronomy, and mythology. Meanwhile, in Europe, ancient cultures were also building their own cosmic clocks. Think of Stonehenge in England. For centuries, its purpose was a mystery. But we now know it's an incredibly sophisticated astronomical observatory. The massive stones are aligned with the sunrise on the summer solstice and the sunset on the winter solstice. Imagine the community gathering there, thousands of years ago, to watch the sun perfectly frame the stones, marking the longest and shortest days of the year. These weren't just random rock formations. They were a way to anchor their community in the rhythm of the cosmos, to celebrate the turning of the great wheel of the year. Even in East Asia, the sky held immense power. The ancient Chinese created a lunisolar calendar, which balanced the cycles of both the moon and the sun. The emperor's legitimacy, his mandate of heaven, was directly linked to his ability to maintain a precise calendar and accurately predict celestial events like eclipses. An unexpected astronomical event could be seen as a sign of cosmic displeasure, potentially threatening his rule. The Imperial Astronomical Bureau was one of the most important government departments, staffed by expert skywatchers who advised the emperor and kept the celestial and earthly realms in harmony. So, What is the enduring mystery of these ancient celestial maps? It's the sheer ingenuity and dedication they represent. Without telescopes, without computers, using only naked eye observation and brilliant mathematics. These early societies created systems of astonishing accuracy. They understood that the universe was not chaotic but ordered. A place of cycles and patterns, they saw humanity as part of this grand cosmic dance, not separate from it. These ancient calendars weren't just practical tools, they were the foundation of their worldview, their religion, and their social structure. They gave meaning to time, connecting daily life to the vast, eternal movements of the heavens. They reminded people that their lives were part of a much larger story, a story written in the stars. When we look at a replica of the Antikythera mechanism, an ancient Greek analog computer used to predict astronomical positions, we are humbled. It shows a level of mechanical and astronomical sophistication that we once thought was impossible. For the ancient world, today, we have atomic clocks and satellite navigation. We can pinpoint time to the nanosecond, but have we lost something in the process? That deep, personal connection to the rhythms of the natural world, the sense of wonder that comes from watching the stars and knowing our place among them. The legacy of these ancient celestial maps is a powerful reminder. It's a call to look up, to appreciate the magnificent clockwork of the universe, and to recognize the timeless human quest to understand our place within it. The sky above us is the same sky they watched. The stars are the same stars. And the mystery and wonder they felt is still there for us to discover. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey through time and space. If you found this as fascinating as I do, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you don't miss our next adventure. What ancient mysteries should we explore next? Let me know in the comments below.